Song Song. Wow, Song Song is early today. Word. This is a complete turnaround from the time that you showed up yesterday. Mmm. 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 Feeling a little stiff today. Weird. Kaz is here. Good morning, Kaz. Hope you're doing okay. Oh, that's fine. It's raining today. It's very gloomy. It's very rainy. I even feel like I'm coming down with something, which I'm not very happy about. I've been working a lot lately, and usually when I work too much and I neglect things like eating and sleeping and personal hygiene, I'll get sick. So I feel like that's what's happening right now. So after this stream, I'm probably gonna have a little bit of R&R time, but it is rainy here right now. But how's everybody else's morning going? It's midnight where you are. You're not sleepy? Song asks if I take song requests. Well, song. Um, yes. But the thing is, you have to remember, I don't know if you remember this from the last stream yesterday, but I only play original music. So usually when somebody comes in, they request an original song. Like if they request that I play um, Closed Down, or if they request that I play Love Letters, or Flight Plan, or Signals, or any of the songs that I've released. Yeah, I'll usually make good on a lot of those requests. If I can. Sometimes I've forgotten the song that I've made. People used to come and they used to request this song, Coliseum, but I just had forgotten how to play it. So I actually had to relearn my own song in order to make good on those requests. But to answer your question, yes, I do take song requests, but I'm not going to take song requests from songs that aren't mine. They have to be an Omnivoice song. Or else how would I know how to play it if I didn't make it? Cause asked if they missed anything. Cause I actually didn't do the was part of the stream yesterday, so you didn't really miss much as far as production. There was a bunch of conversation stuff that I'm sure you missed, but as far as like new songs I've been working on, not really. A lot of my music for the past 3 or 4 days has been commission based, like stuff that I'm making for work. So I haven't had much to show off because I'm just not allowed to show people that music. Instead of around the pond, we could say something like, "It's raining right here," or a similar phrase like that. You know what? You know what, Cyber? I have been like kind of. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Delineating? Is that even a word? Did I make up a word? I've been kind of like going back and forth. Hmm. Wow. Oh, it held the. Oh, is that Korean? Song, did you just type Korean into the stream? Oh, happy. Oh, my music makes you happy. That's good. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad my music doesn't make you sad. Unless that's my goal, in which case I hope that it moves you in some way close to sorrow. Hello, Kid James. Kid James is in the stream now, so I'm gonna play Reflection for him. Hope you had a good rest of your Monday, kid. And I hope you're having a good Tuesday so far. Good morning, Isidore. Also, song, your English is very good. So, thanks for being in the stream. I can understand what you mean. That song's called Reflection Pool. Yes. Homemade hamburgers is what Cyber's having for lunch. Today lunch looks bleak for me. I don't have enough groceries to actually prepare anything for myself, so I'm probably gonna end up eating out for lunch, which is a bad idea because I'm pretty low on money as it is. I've already expelled most of my eat out budget for the week, but desperate times, right? Call for irresponsible spending. You can request flight plan cause, wow, is flight plan going to become your song? You seem to like that song more than other people in the stream. I am going to play it, but I am going to play 17 to Downtown first, because that is Isadora's song. And I haven't gotten around to playing hers yet. Ooh, spicy. It's why I am in Korea. Oh my god. Well, thank you for joining the stream, son, with it being so late in Korea. I haven't been in Korea in almost a whole year now. I'll have to come back this year. It'd be nice. That was one of the better shows I've played. I can't speak any Korean. I'm so sorry. Kansanmida? That's it. That's all I know. Well, I know Chogyo, I guess. But that doesn't do me much good here. Kansanmida song. Oh, Bon Bon. Oh, I'm sorry, Easy Dory. Yeah, people come and go in the stream. Oh, no way, song. Goodbye. Have a good day. Maybe next time you're in, I'll play Bon Bon. Ooh, Cyber, just give me some lunch money? Oh, word up. What am I eating? Maybe I'll have requested a pretty long title, and I was thinking about going that direction for song titles anyway. Maybe having like a even just a collection of work where the song titles were kind of long, like whole phrases. And I think the only reason I haven't done that is because it is kind of a task to say the whole thing. For example, there's a movie that I really, really love that comes on TV sometimes called When a Wolf Falls in Love with a Sheep. And I hate saying that entire title. When a wolf falls in love with a sheep, it's just too long. It doesn't really roll off the tongue. It's cumbersome. And so I try to have songs that are like easy to Google, easy to type out, easy to remember, easy to say. But there's a lot of artists who have songs that people love, and their songs are really catchy, that have really, really long song titles. So I don't know if it actually matters in the long run. I know like Fall Out Boy had really long song titles, so did Panic at the Disco. Even In Love with the Ghost has really long song titles. If I'm coming up with examples of people that are, I guess, closer to me sonically. So maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if I had a song title that was like 5 words. I don't know. But that is a good suggestion, Cyber. Does Cyber have a song? Is the current Around the Pond Cyber song? There's that song by Cyber, the Hitler and the Bigfoot song. Oh, you're over and under. That's right. My bad. Oh, the Bigfoot thing is a B movie. The Man Who Killed Hitler and then Bigfoot. It's a movie. Wow. Well, here's over and under for you, Cyber. Okay, Liana. Thanks for asking. How's your Tuesday? Oh, it's actually really rainy down here. I don't know what the weather's like up in the Bay, but it's been really like stormy. It rained all night last night, which is making that mattress that's sitting on the side of the street look pretty nasty. Word up. Good luck with work stuff. Liana's on day two on working from home. Yes, Liana, I am self quarantining. Oh, we're getting weird with I'm working from home today too. I'm not doing my usual run around, go to the coffee shop, go down to the studio really quick. Although it doesn't have anything to do with any mandated working from home or disease stuff. It's just really rainy and I don't feel like going out. Isn't that sad? I don't know, Witch's Cauldron or something. I had McDonald's Halloween music cassettes when I was a kid. This reminds me of that. McDonald's Halloween music cassettes is such. That's a lot. You said a lot in very little words. Jesus. I didn't even know that was a thing. A pirate shanty. Oh, pirate shanties. Scooby Doo vibes. Okay, so pirate shanties. I don't know how many people in this stream. There's 11 people in here, so I'm gonna say at least one of you has played Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag would have, of course, you had a pirate ship. You were a pirate, kind of. You were an assassin. Don't want to get into all the gray area that lied within the narrative of this game, but you did have a ship, and when you would sail around, your crew members would just at random sing a shanty. And as you went through the game, you would unlock more shanties, but you couldn't really make them sing one. They would just sing it on their own. You know, it was like a random occurrence in the game. But you could unlock more. So in the very beginning, I think they only sing like one or two songs, and once you start unlocking them, you never know what they're gonna sing. And there was one or two pirate shanties that were so good that they sang. And whenever sometimes I would just sail around the open map, waiting for them to break into song. And if they did start to play the song that I wanted them to sing, or the song that I liked, and I was getting ready to approach my objective, I would actually turn around to let them finish singing the song. And then once they were finished, I would turn around and then like actually go through with the story. And I can't remember what song it was. I can't remember any of the shanties from that game. But when Cyber said pirate shanty, it just made me think about how much I loved that one. There's a pub close to here, an Irish pub called Griffin's on Kinsale, and it's amazing. If you go on Wednesdays, they have a full band that plays like very very traditional Irish folk music, which is not a thing I didn't know I liked it as much as I did until I heard it being played live, and it's so it inspires participation. Any type of music that inspires participation, I like. And that tends to be kind of a characteristic amongst all folk music. It's usually you're encouraged to kind of join in and sing with the people performing it. And Irish folk music sounds so much like pirate shanties to me. And I don't know why this is. I'm sure there's some type of historical connection on why those two things sound similar. I would love to research that and figure out what that is. But they do sound similar, and I love going to Griffin's on Wednesdays just to hear them do their thing. There's this one that's like Whiskey on the Ground. I think it's called Whiskey on the Ground. It's so good. Whiskey on the ground. I don't know what any of the lyrics are except for Whiskey on the Ground, but if you can find that song, the like Irish folk song Whiskey on the Ground, please listen to it. It's amazing. I don't know if it sounds different when performed. I don't know. Maybe I've spent a little too much time on this, but thank you for reminding me of Pirate Shanty Cyber. Kit James says, my ex would play that so much, talking about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I would always make them sing the same shanty over and over. I hated that. Well, I didn't know that was a thing you could do. Just make them sing the same one over and over. But I'm sorry that is something that your ex did. I retroactively usually have a pretty strong distaste for all of my ex's habits, whether I liked them at the time or not. So, Black Flag was underrated. Thank you. Black Flag was underrated. I think Black Flag was so beloved by me because I actually don't like Assassin's Creed games anymore. I find them to be mind-numbing and repetitive and boring. But Black Flag added a new element to what was a pretty stale series, in my opinion. I'm not here to review video games. I did like that I was finally given the ability to be a pirate. I think that's the thing. Sometimes a game doesn't have to be good; it just has to be different. And not a lot of games allowed you to be a pirate. That was like a thing we all liked, but maybe because video game engines couldn't execute a lot of the pirate activities, you weren't allowed to be a pirate in most games. Of course, after Black Flag came out, we had a lot of pirate games. Currently, I think people are still playing. What's it called? What is it? Something Seas, Sea of Thieves, or something like that. But at the time, it was a really big deal. Mm-hmm. What is the red on your sweater? Such a good color contrast. Man, I keeps gravitating over to it. This thing, it's ketchup. Exactly. Black Flag was a different take. Most Assassin's Creeds are being a ninja in a city. Yeah, which is also a really good thing. When Assassin's Creed first made the whole ninja in a city thing, that was pretty new. That was pretty new and nuanced, and so we were all gravitated to it. But you can only do that so many times before you got to switch it up by making me a pirate in the Caribbean. I actually think that game did take place in the Caribbean. Hmm. Is there a Pirates of the Caribbean game? Don't answer that. There's Kingdom Hearts. You can be a. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts allowed you to be a pirate way after Black Flag did. I mean, there was always the Pirates of the Caribbean level. By the way, this is not ketchup. I was making a joke earlier. It's the Mickey Mouse logo. It's just like the three circles. This is a Disney T-shirt. I wore this sweater. It's not T-shirt. It's a sweater. I wore this sweatshirt to the beach on Sunday, and a lot of people complimented it, but nobody. I think nobody thought it was a Disney shirt. I don't know. It's a Disney shirt. I think it's just Mickey Mouse's hand and a bunch of different permutations, like a fist and like just a bunch of different Mickey hands. But I guess it was on brand for me. I don't know. I like black and white things, but obviously beyond that, the clothes are an obvious thing, a connection. He was awful. I'm glad to have gotten out of that relationship, says Kit. Kit, you have no idea how many songs I have about being happy to be out of relationships. This one's for you, Kit. This song's called Key Lime, who technically is named after somebody that I'm no longer in a relationship with. Which is sad. But I'm glad. I'm glad. No one's perfect. You gotta take the good with the bad, says Cyber. You know what's something interesting about, nobody being perfect and people being kind of whack when you get to know them? If there's somebody that I like and I write a song about them or for them, they actually get kind of frozen in time depending on the song, right? So, example, that song was Key Lime, written by somebody whose nickname was Key Lime. And this song was written in like my apex of infatuation for this person. And because of that, I play not because of that, but I do play the song a lot. I play the song in streams a lot. Just that chord progression alone is in so many of my songs. So even though towards the end, Key Lime ended up being a person that I didn't like, and I didn't want to see or be around anymore, and that I was grateful that they lived in another state now. The song is frozen in a time where I did care about them a lot, so it's I spend more time maybe in that favorable idea of them than I do in the very realistic, current, unfavorable distasteful opinion of them. It's nice, I guess. Something to think about. Same thing with the song Kiwi. Kiwi's somebody I don't really talk to very much anymore, but the song was written when I was very, very much fond of them. And so I kind of got frozen in the song Kiwi, as well as the song Key Lime. Some of you guys will remember, I'm going to describe the opposite of that, which can be bad. The song Amnesia, that is not the chord. The chord is. That song is about one of my exes too. One of my exes that I'm not very fond of at all, like most of my exes. And I wrote that song not while I was fond of her. I wrote that song after things had gone pretty sour. And so even though I've kind of gotten over it, I don't wish ill. I don't wish her any harm. That song, I'm kind of frozen in. I'm frozen in that song of being new. It's new, it's fresh. It's like always fresh by the song. The idea or the feeling of being like, oh, I think I'm being cheated on. Oh, I am being cheated on. These are the chords that I'm going to assign to that feeling. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Being like frozen in a very specific bubble of time. It's probably not healthy. I mean, I don't know if I get stuck in the bubble, but I identify with the emotion very, very, very much. Kind of like, and if I want to take it away from right romantic relationships, when I made Speed Dream, I was very much in a very specific mode or mood. And I'm not even talking about the music. When I wrote Speed Dream as a short story, I was very into like Speed Racer and Fast and Furious and Initial D and Max Tune and all of those things. And so I wrote this story. Years later, I ended up scoring that story and making music to it, but I didn't change the story to update it to, something that I would write today. So it kind of, I was still frozen in that feeling of being like really obsessed with these things, racing stories and drama and stuff like that. And then I make music to it. And that music is now what that music, that Speed Dream came out in 2017, so 3 years. Came out 3 years ago. And when I listen to it, it still reminds me of all the things that I like and why I like them. Even though I'm not necessarily looking at Initial D right now, or Max Tune, or Fast and Furious all the time, or even though I'm not there, it reminds me how much I like those things, and I'm able to kind of dip back into that like old kiddie pool of feelings and go like, oh, these things were really good. I really do care about these things. Isn't that interesting? Art can freeze things. I mean, obviously painting something or taking a photo of downtown Los Angeles in 1922, people can look at that photo later and go like, wow, I can't believe the city used to look like this. We had a rail car? I didn't know we had a trolley. That's really cool. Songs can be the same way. Sometimes I'll forget about Key Lime as a person. I forget what her face looks like. If I think really hard now, I can't even really see it. I can see red hair. But if I play the song, I can remember going to Champs and getting vegan food that I didn't particularly like. And I can think about making fun of a jacket that she was wearing. Because she was, oh, the crows are back. I think it's the rain. I think crows like rain, actually. Wow, I don't know what I was talking about. Lindsay's in here. Do you avoid certain songs either by you or other artists because they make you feel things you don't want to? Says Lindsay. Yes and no. I mean, I guess you've asked a twofold question. Do I avoid songs by myself because I don't want to feel away? No. No. No, it's okay. However, there's a very specific exception to that, what I have just said. Do I avoid songs? No, but I have deleted a song. I made a song with somebody that that I was romantically involved in. I know, really stupid, right? Just dumb stuff there. I did that, and it was on the House of Omni EP. House of Omni EP, yes. And then I deleted that song, so it's not on SoundCloud or like Spotify or anything like that. So I don't really avoid that song. It's just gone. It just doesn't exist right now. But once I release the song and I'm committed to the song, I usually have to just be okay with it. So I don't avoid my own music because it makes me feel a way that I don't want to feel. However, other songs, sure. I mean, songs, yeah, sure, of course. Regina Spektor, if you're familiar with the artist Regina Spektor, sorry, yeah, Regina Spektor sounds exactly like somebody I dated in, uh, like the summer, like late high school, early college. Like, I'm not talking close. I'm not like, oh, you kind of have a voice like so and so. It's like when I hear a Regina Spektor song, I would like freak out because I thought that it was my ex who also sang. Ugh. Anywho, yeah, so I avoid Regina Spektor songs. I'm a little bit better about it now. I can hear what Regina Spektor now and be cool, but at the time it was very difficult. Wow, that was a really good question. I think Regina Spektor is probably the only example of that. Usually, like if I dated somebody who listened to a lot of music, I probably won't listen to it for maybe a year or so after I've dated them. But then I'll go back around to it. I mean, music's music. Is music. Cyber says Omni values his privacy. And songs are sort of his way to elaborate. Oh my goodness, this is cool. Hey, Cyber's written a blurb about me. Mary, you are late. Shame on you. Thank you for coming in, Mary. I do appreciate it. I hope you've had a good Tuesday so far. Cyber says Omni values his privacy, and songs are sort of his way to elaborate and put rest to his relationships and secrets he would otherwise keep to himself. It's ingenious. Is it? Some would say it is sloppy. Oh. I wish you guys could see them. I wish you guys could see them right now. Oh, it's beautiful. I love crows. Can you see them? Can you see them chilling on that rooftop over there? You probably can't hear them, but they're very, very loud. They're very loud. Um, sorry. Sorry. Cyber was saying, let me turn it more this way. Cyber was saying that that's ingenious. I think what happens, Cyber, is you're right. I am a very private person, and I do express things about myself through music. Usually, it's just not very one to one. It's usually not as simple and as blatant and as well executed and communicated as Amnesia. If you listen to the song Amnesia, it's not very hard to understand what's going on. Now, if you listen to a lot of my other songs, if you listen to Kiwi, nobody really knows what that song's about. Nobody really knows what Key Lime is about. The only reason somebody may from the stream know what Kiwi's about because I did break down what it was about and the whole Mungo Jerry thing a few streams ago, maybe 6 or so streams ago. But yeah, typically I'm not getting into the nitty gritty into my songs, Cyber, but they are windows into what's going on in my life, I suppose. School is shut down for the next 14 days because of Corona, according to Mary. Wow, that's 2 weeks worth of I guess educate from home. Oh man. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on comics. Sorry, guys. Okay, everybody. Now, I could take this part of the stream to go over to FL Studio and go over FL Studio stuff, but the problem is I haven't made a lot of extra music since you guys last heard it. So do you guys want to go and review some things, or would you guys like to spend the rest of the stream just chilling, hearing some dulcet tones? Sweet. And then go about your Tuesday. Ticket prices are very cheap, Liana. I think I'm gonna fly to Australia. I've never been to Australia, and where I live, LA, is super far from Australia, and there's just no cheap way to get to Australia from LA. There's cheap ways to get to Japan. There's cheap ways to get to London. There's cheap ways to get to obviously New York, Canada, South America. Getting to Australia is so expensive, no matter how you slice it. So maybe I should go to Australia. I wouldn't be able to play a show because of Corona, but I would be able to eat something, I guess. Q High, Q Hill, Q Hill. Q Hill has caught the stream. Welcome to the stream, Q Hill. Thank you for making the time. I appreciate you for it. Yeah, maybe I should do some traveling. Let's save production until we reach 100. I think by then you should have made some good progress and can share some new songs. Oh, wow. You want to go 10 streams with no show and tell? Word up, Cyber. I finally caught one of your new streams on YouTube. I love it, bro, says Curse Mark Wesley. Hi, Curse Mark Wesley. Thank you, bruv. Bruv, huh? Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. You know what that means? That means $2 slices for pizza at Pizzanista. That's my thing. I do it every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I take the train downtown. I walk to the Arts District, and I say 2 slices of pepperoni, please. And they say $4, and then I tip them $2, and they give me extra pepperonis. But it's raining today. I don't know if I want to make that trip. I hate eating pizza when it's gloomy. It feels wrong. It is already at 89, isn't it, Kit James? It is. Oh my god, you're right, Cyber. Cyber gave me lunch money today, guys, so maybe I should go to Pizzanista instead. Maybe I should get a whole pizza. I don't know. Come on, Omni, be reasonable. A whole pizza? That'll get cold by the time you get home. I could drive, I could use my car. I do own it. I own a car. I'm not wearing a watch. It's almost 10 o'clock. They open at 11. I'm going to not do this during the stream. I'll figure out what I'm going to do about my tummy after the stream. We're talking about smoke bombs for bugs. My school was smoke bombed. Was it for bugs? I feel like people say bug bomb when it's about bugs. But also, did somebody just bring smoke bombs to your school? Do it. Cold pizza is the best. Now, I hear you. I hear you, but I can't support that statement. I cannot support the statement that cold pizza is the best. I can't support that. Ugh. Oh, thanks, Mary. I appreciate that. Whenever I wear this top, I get a little nervous that I'm going to get marinara sauce on it. Anything with a lot of white on it makes me really nervous. So anytime you see me wearing, like I have a sweater that's an Oswald the Lucky Rabbit sweater, and I have little panic attacks every time, with every bite. I eat a lot of ramen. I eat a lot of udon, but I eat maybe more ramen. And like, there's this like, I mean, you slurp ramen, but the ramen does this thing when you're slurping it up, the noodle like kind of wiles out when it's like going into your mouth. And while it's wiling out, it's like spraying broth everywhere, and it always gets me every time. I don't like biting noodles, by the way, so that's the thing. People are like, just bite the noodles, bro. I'm like, no, I'd rather just buy OxyClean. Curse says, when I start my anime, can you be there to make the soundtrack legendary? You're gonna make an anime? Go make something an anime. When are you making anime? Are you making it tomorrow? Because I don't know how much time I have left. I might have to be able to score your anime posthumously. Come on, Omni, cold pizza with sriracha. What are you saying? You're just saying words. Oh, also, I live like 2 miles away from the sriracha factory. It's here. It's here in Southern California. And if you go and you do a tour, they give you free sriracha. Um, Sriracha's like a buck 90 anyway. I don't know who needs it for free, but that's something. But no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying about cold pizza. Um, but yeah, that would be cool to do the score for anime. Keep me in mind. I spent all Asian noodles like pasta. Oh my god, how? I guess if you take the chopsticks, you could like with a spoon maybe. Yo, to each their own. I'm never gonna judge people for the way they eat Asian noodles as long as they're not using a fork. Please don't use a fork. That's so weird. But but even if you use a fork, I mean, as long as nobody can see you, as long as you're not offending anybody that made the food, I'm fine. Oh my god, Liana uses a fork. Okay. Um, um, oh man. I'm not gonna spend any time here because I'm not judging Liana. I like Liana a lot, and so I'm not judging. I'm not judging. You eat your ramen with that fork. Oh my god. What if they don't have a fork? Do you bring your own fork? No, I don't want to know the answer to that question. But that's really cool. That's really cool that you found a way to enjoy foreign food in your own way. You put your own Liana spin on it. Forks up. I think that when it comes to uh, oh I have to get past it. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna get past it. It's gonna be fine. Crap. What was I talking about? Nope. Not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Ooh, no. Nope. Not today. Not today. Here in America. Ooh. Ruined I do want to ask, and there is zero judgment in this question. This is just me being um, curious. Do you not like using chopsticks? Like in general, I'm not talking about just for noodles. Like if you go to a place and it's like I don't know, rice bowls. Do you not like? Is it like uncomfortable for you, or you just don't like using them? Or it's like whatever. I don't like chopsticks. Because depending on your answer, I have a really interesting, actually not a very interesting story at all. I have a story that's not interesting by any definition of that term. Also, I don't mess up when I'm playing vanilla anymore because I figured out what the problem chords were. Sorry. If I'm given chopsticks, I use them. Oh. So what are we doing? What are we talking about? When are you not given chopsticks? Oh, see, now I'm asking more questions. I really don't want to ask questions here. I don't want to ask questions here. It's just in my brain, every time I've gone to get ramen, I was given chopsticks. Nobody ever gave me a fork. I think if they gave me a fork, I would be confused. Is this Olive Garden? I've never not received chopsticks with my ramen. I don't want to ask any more questions, though. Because I feel like every answer is going to lead to more questions. So I'm just going to say, in Korea, the chopsticks are made out of metal. And this made my dining experience in Korea a nightmare because I hate metal chopsticks. I hate them. I hate them. I can't get a grip on them. I can't get a grip on them. and they can't seem to get a grip on the food even. I just don't get it. I don't get why you would make chopsticks out of metal. But I did my best while in Korea, and to my chagrin and to a lot of other people's amusement, it didn't work out all the time. But I did use them. Whew. No, Liana's in the same state that I live in, Lindsay. Me and Liana are Cali buddies. Are me and Liana the only people actually from California that are on the stream regularly? I mean, I don't know if I can count myself since I am the stream. But, oh man, that's gonna mess me up for a minute. That's good though. That's good. I refuse to judge Liana. I refuse to judge anybody. It's a little bit easier to not judge your friends though, but I am not great at using chopsticks. I'm not talking about myself, I'm reading Liana's comment. I have no shame. I am not great at using chopsticks. No shame. No shame. No blame. No name. Um, that's good. I think, what do I think? I think I used to be bad at using chopsticks as well. Um, I think that, I grew up in the high desert in Southern California, though, unfortunately. Oh. Word up. Word up. Wow. Apple Valley. Oh, that sounds beautiful. That's beautiful. That is an Omniboy song title from yesteryears, if I've ever heard one. That is. I would drink that up. I loved going to places that had like really weird, like freaking video game sounding names like that. I would always name my songs after them. Like Button Willow? What a stupid name for a town. Anyways, I think that I used to be really bad at using chopsticks, and the only reason that I'm good at using chopsticks now is because, well, I won't say the only reason, but what accelerated my improvement on being able to use chopsticks was probably moving to California, Leanna. If I'm being honest, there aren't that many Asian restaurants in Arizona. Moving here, especially to the area of Los Angeles that I live in, they're everywhere. And a lot of restaurants, if you go to them and if you get ramen and you ask for a fork, they're going to laugh at you. When I went to, I remember in Arizona there was kind of like if you went to an Asian restaurant, um, if you went to an Asian restaurant, you could kind of ask for a certain few things. Like in Arizona, it's like, oh, you want a fork? You can ask for soy sauce. Kind of no matter what the restaurant sold, they always had soy sauce, which is actually kind of funny because I went to Coco Curry recently, and a friend of mine asked for soy sauce, and the server was so confused. They were like, soy sauce? What? This is a curry restaurant. Why would you want soy sauce? We don't have that. But that's kind of a little bit beside the point. I moved here, and I realized you couldn't just ask for a fork, even if it was like a bowl of rice and chicken. You're like, yo, do you have any forks? They would kind of be like, bro, this isn't Panda Express. This is an actual Asian restaurant. Leave, please. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to have to get good with using chopsticks if I want to eat here. And so I just gradually got better with using chopsticks. And I think I'm still not obviously as good as maybe somebody that's like, been raised on chopsticks. But I think the only reason I improved is because I had to. And I'm grateful for having to have to. I'm grateful for having had the obligation to improve and not have had other options. English is so weird. Because that's how I've improved at a lot of things. Like I used to the first band I joined as a bass player. I didn't actually know how to play bass. I was just desperate to be in a band, and somebody had posted a thing online. And I was like, I'll be your bass player. And I had a bass in the garage, but I didn't even have a bass amp. I was playing bass through a guitar amp. I don't need to explain why that's bad, but I was doing that, and I was playing my guitar with a quarter, And I was propping it up on my knee because I didn't even have a strap for it. Like, this was not a thing I was passionate about. I kind of just started doing it to join this group. But then we went out on tour, and I just got better and better at bass because I just had to be better at bass. Something about putting yourself in situations either willingly or outside of your control where you just have to improve. Um, I think I just had to improve at um, chopsticks. But the thing that's really funny, Liana, about that is I thought that I was pretty good, right? And then when I was on tour, and I don't know if you know what okonomiyaki is. If you don't, doesn't matter. If you do, dope. But when I was on tour and we went to Osaka, they were like, Omni, you have to have Osaka style okonomiyaki. That's like what we're known for. They wanted to make me eat takoyaki. I don't like octopus, so that didn't. Well, I did eat it, and I was very sick because I just didn't want to offend anybody. I'm not gonna. I'll tell that story later. But okonomiyaki, it's like cabbage, eggs, a bunch of things like put on like a hot plate, and then they make it into a circle, kind of like a pizza, and then they take a spatula and then they chop it up into pieces. Cabbage, noodles. There wasn't noodles in Osaka style okonomiyaki cyber. There is a place in downtown Los Angeles that does have that style of okonomiyaki. But yeah. It was fine, but it has so little form, right? Like you can't just pick it up like a pizza slice. Everybody that I was eating with was just yow yow yow. They were at it, and I kind of tried. It was like picking up. It was like picking up chili or something. It was so weird. Um, anyways, it didn't work out. I was made fun of, but lovingly. I think they liked me there. Social customs are so weird because going to and spending an extended period of time in Japan, I always felt myself on this like weird line where thinking people loved me and thinking people hated me, but never thinking people felt just ambivalent or indifferent towards me. It always felt like my friends were just like, "Oh, Macy, yeah," and then sometimes it felt like, "Oh my God, should I leave? Have I done something awful?" And I think it's just me not being used to the way people express emotion in Japan. Mm, yeah, less travel does mean shortfalls. Uh, you're right, though, Cyber. You're right. Bonito Flakes. You're right. Also, Mary, you are also right. I want to travel overseas so badly, says Kaz. You should, Kaz. Um, Flights are cheaper now than they've ever been. Well, I don't know about than they've ever been, but they're cheaper now than they have been in recent history. Mayonnaise! Mayonnaise, that's what it was. Yes, they put mayonnaise on the top. They'll get like they'll get like two bottles and they'll do this like little design on the top. Mayonnaise. Japanese mayonnaise is different. Everybody, I'm like, I don't like mayonnaise, and everybody's like, Japanese mayonnaise is different on me. It's not like here. It's not like mayo. It's different. And like, no, it's not. I mean, okay, hold on, let me back up. Yes, it is, but also, I still don't like it. It's also not a thing I like. Just because something's different doesn't mean it's good. Japanese mayo is pretty different. You're right, Cyber. Everybody's right that says that. I just don't like it. I happen to be one of those super unique people that do not like American mayonnaise and also maintain the same feeling towards Japanese mayonnaise. Mm, 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 mm. The mayo and okonomiyaki was the weirdest part for me, says Lindsay. Ah, yes. They use straight egg yolk, baby. Guys, I woke up very early this morning. I woke up at about 4:30. I woke up at about 4:30 and I had a lot of time to think. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's true. It's true. I did. It did happen. I did wake up very early, and I did have a lot of time to think. But I didn't think about anything good. I had a weird nightmare. tell they're looking at my mouth move and they think I'm talking to them. I'm not, obviously, but I can't close the curtain. I really like the sunlight. What was I just playing? Whoa, I was playing Spring Street and I just started playing something completely different. Sorry. I hit the gym. Worst workout this year so far. What does that mean? What's that mean to have a bad workout? Does that mean the muscles don't get bigger? I was wondering if people on the street realize they can get a free concert every day. Sometimes I don't like when people acknowledge me while they're walking. There is a girl that she just moved in recently. I hope she doesn't hate me. I know not everybody's like me. Some people move in and I'll usually go and I knock on the door and I go, "Welcome to the cul-de-sac. Would you like some biscuits?" I used to make biscuits. I've stopped making biscuits for people. Not everybody likes biscuits. I know how weird it is when you push food onto people without figuring out if they like it or not, so I don't do that anymore. But anyway, she just moved into one of the vacant spots, and I'm like, should I say something to her? Should I go and welcome her to the neighborhood? I feel like she keeps walking her dog by and making eye contact with me, so now at this point, if I show up at her door, wouldn't that be weird? She's like, ew, it's that dude that's in his window all the time, playing piano, talking to no one. Yeah, because when they walk by, they can't see the phone. They have no idea I'm streaming. They just think I'm talking to myself. I was hoping to, like, welcome her to the neighborhood before she got a chance to see whatever's happening right now in my room. Wasn't hitting the reps due to little sleep. Oh, interesting. I'm sorry. But you did a workout at all, which is amazing. You know, that's better than just lying around and wallowing. So I'm going to call this a good workout. I, as somebody who was not there and has no authority over your physical fitness, will say that that was a good workout. Good on you for getting out of the house and making that happen. I don't know that she likes hearing the piano loud. She doesn't smile. She just stares. She stares for like not very long, like 5 seconds, in the same way that you would stare at like a raccoon that wandered out of the sewer drain. You kind of just look at it like, oh, it's just a raccoon. She kind of looks at me like that. I'm gonna talk to her eventually. I just hope it's not bad. Hope it's not bad. There's this weird, like, okay, so I was talking about social customs, right? One of my biggest, what's the word? One of my biggest shortcomings as far as traveling is that other countries have such comprehensive social customs. Like, don't stand here, don't say that, don't go over there. This is how you speak to the elderly. This is how you speak to children. America doesn't really have social customs because we're such a melting pot of so many different cultures that our way of consolidating the 50 some odd different cultures is just going like, you know what, just do whatever you want and we'll kind of try to explain it along the way. So if somebody gets on the train and they don't talk to anybody, it's like, oh, that's just their thing. And if somebody gets on the train and they're really loud and they're laughing and they're pushing people, it's like, that's just their thing. Things can kind of be seen as rude on a very broad strokes approach, but nothing can be seen as specifically un-American and like, oh, we don't do that here. That's not our thing. Because we kind of do everything. And so every time I travel to another place and they're like, oh, you need to do this. For example, in Japan, since we were talking about Japan earlier, you take off your shoes before you go into someone's building, someone's home. Oh, obviously, you're not taking off your shoes when you go into a McDonald's. But if you're going into someone's home, you take off your shoes. I have the same thing with my home. There's a little, I have a little like shelf next to the front door. When you come in the front door, the back door, there's one at the back door too. Take off your shoes and put it on the shelf. Don't wear shoes in my home. Please don't wear shoes in my home. It takes me so long to polish these very, very old wooden floors. I would hate to see them scuffed up by somebody's terrible, terrible sneakers. So take off your shoes. But that's not how everybody behaves in America. Some people wear their shoes in the home. Some people will wear their shoes in their bed. Don't want to get into that and why that's disgusting. But a lot of people don't really care for that. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Ooh, lunch is about to be a plentiful bounty today. If I spend this all in one place. Thank you. I do really appreciate that, Lindsay. I am getting better at vanilla almost strictly on your behalf because that is a song that has plagued me for months now. But I do appreciate that. But I feel like even going to France, when I was a kid and I would go to France, there are certain things that you just don't do in France. There are certain things that you do in France that you're expected to do. For example, in France, far before it started becoming a thing here in California, there were not bags at grocery stores. You had to bring your own bag. That was the thing that had been going on there for decades before we started getting on that whole, like, hey, let's try to save the planet wave. You had to have a tote if you were going to go to the store and buy food. And I got into the habit of doing that while I was in France. But that wasn't really a thing here, you know. America didn't really have a specific way to go about it. Some stores didn't have bags, some did have bags. You could never really go to a place and go, this is not American. This is not the way you're supposed to do this. Are you asking me if I'm going to buy candy, Cyber? Is that what that means? Hold on. Pause that. Kurt says, any tips on making French toast? I'm about to make some. Are you asking me that because you've seen me make French toast, Kurt? Because I do make a lot of French toast. So, I'm going to say this as quickly as possible because I did really want to finish my weird point that nobody was asking about on social customs in America, but since you asked about the French toast thing, I like to start by getting brioche bread. I think brioche bread actually makes better French toast than your average like Texas toast or even just like regular sliced bread. Obviously, if you have already bought bread, disregard this piece of minutia when it comes to making French toast. But if you haven't gotten that yet, or maybe you're going to make it again in the future, I would recommend buying brioche bread, brioche sliced bread. It's usually a little bit thicker. Kind of has like a buttermilk bread, like a potato bread sheen to it, so it's not white. It's kind of more of a yellowy color. So you're going to use that. Also, when it comes to making the mix, like everybody, like when they're making the mix for the French toast, so obviously they're going to crack the egg. They're going to do, you know, you whisk up the egg. Maybe you add a little bit of cinnamon here. Some people add brown sugar, which is, you know, you're going to add the things that you care about. Something that I've noticed is that if you add, not rosemary, what's it called? Omni? Oh no. Oh no. What's it called? Rosemary. It's not rosemary. It has cinnamon in it, though. Oh, Omni, why? Why am I blanking on this now? Nutmeg. Curse, you're helping me more than I'm helping you at this point. Anywho, yeah, like a lot of people say either add your cinnamon or add your nutmeg. I make like really like wild French toast, and so obviously the brioche is already going to give it a flavor. I add a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. You don't need to do this, but this is how I'm going to be making French toast. So I do the beating of the egg. I add cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg to it, and a little bit of vanilla. If you have vanilla extract, it doesn't really matter how expensive the vanilla extract is. It could be like the cheapest great value Walmart stuff. You add a little bit of vanilla extract to it. There's one more thing I add. What is it? I have it stuck in my head. But yeah, that'll do it. I also use a ceramic pan, just because, I mean, French toast can be really messy. Obviously buttering the pan, obviously. Now, I've had like savory French toast, right? I've made like French toast sandwiches. When I'm making French toast sandwiches, I usually don't go with adding the nutmeg to it. If you're just gonna be doing like some powdered sugar and like some syrup on this, I mean, I would do the nutmeg. And then, non-stick is just as good as ceramic, but I use a ceramic pan for it because it's easier to clean. Those are unfortunately the only tips I have. I hope that helped at all. If it didn't, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed talking about French toast for a few moments. But back to American social customs. I feel like America doesn't really have them. Something that's really funny to me is in America, when the train comes and it stops and the doors open, the subway, I'm talking about, the subway opens, people will just wait in front of the door, like on the platform. They'll wait in front of the door, seeing they're making eye contact with the people in the train that need to get off the train. And as soon as the doors open, everybody just goes like this, and they just mash into each other like idiots, like children. Even though we know there's plenty of time for people to get off the train, for us to wait, and then get on the train after they're finished. There's plenty of time. We actually make that matters worse by running into each other because now there's not enough time for any of us to get on or off the train. And then there has to be this weird last minute thing where the doors are closing, people are pushing the doors open, the doors are closing, they're slamming on people. It's because we don't have like an ironed out social custom. We're just behaving like animals all the time, which can be fun, by the way. Sometimes behaving like animals can be pretty fun. But Curse says, I have brioche bread. Recently, that's the only bread I eat. Wow. I like Curse. I like Curse, this newcomer to the stream. Guys, we are way over. Oh my god, why didn't anybody tell me we were way over? I'm like almost 30 minutes over the stream. I didn't even do free loops today. I just got really distracted, I guess, talking about the social custom thing. It's not important. Point is, other countries seem to have ironed out social customs. America's very young, and we're also a melting pot. And I guess I don't actually have to sneeze. And so we don't really have social customs, so it's very hard for me when I travel because other places have a way you're supposed to behave, and here in America you can kind of behave however you want, and people will excuse you within reason, right? People say clogging up the front of the train. There's so much room. Yeah, people are really stupid. People are really stupid, Lindsay. A quick list of those things. I don't like when people stand in front of the train doors when it's opening. You know people have to get off. Just wait for people to get off. Your destination is no more important than any of ours. In a way, it makes way more sense to let people off before you get on because they're making room when they leave. If you're trying to get on while they're still on there, there's less space for you. Let them get off. You might be able to get a seat better that way. I also don't like it when planes end. When planes land, and people immediately stand up. The plane has landed, and people, it's like the seatbelt sign comes off, and people immediately stand up and start taking their stuff out of the overhead compartments. Even though it's going to be at least 5 to 10 minutes before we can even exit the plane. And they just stand in the aisles, blocking the aisles. It's like, what are you doing? None of us can go anywhere. I've sat on the aisle seats sometimes, and the plane has landed, and the person that's from the window seat has got up and is like upset with me, trying to push past me to get there. So I'm like, your stuff is fine. We can't get off this plane. Why are you standing up? We can't get off. So silly. Yeah, I don't know. People in general, I feel like don't. In America, I will say, because it's not a thing everywhere. People like don't think about the big picture. People usually think about what's happening right now. People are pretty impatient about that. I don't really like that. That is one thing that I guess is a little bit cooler about Japan, and not only Japan, a lot of other countries. People seem to have a little bit of more of an eye on the big picture, the people as a whole. It's like, hey, if I do this thing, it's going to make everybody's life more difficult. But if I don't do this thing, it'll make everybody's life easier. Or if I do this thing, hey, if I pick up after this person, it'll make my life easier. Sometimes when I sit down at a restaurant and it's kind of messy, I'll wipe it down myself. I'll just grab a napkin and I'll wipe it down myself. I'm like, nah, it's fine. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are animals. And the restrooms, there's a restroom in Bon Appetit, and I'm constantly cleaning up after. This is more of a racial thing, I think. Do I want to get into this? I'm going to skip over this. Nobody replied to what I'm about to say because I don't want to get into a conversation about race relations in California. But in boba places, I don't have to go on any whim or like by saying I am one of the only black people in there, if not the only black Usually the only black person in there. I also live in an area of Los Angeles that is mostly populated by Chinese people, a little bit of Hispanic, mostly Chinese. It's like Chinese, then the next is Vietnamese, and then it's like Hispanic, and then it's like other, and I am other. So if I go into a boba place, people are not that nice to me because there isn't the best treatment of black people from Chinese people. And I'll say California because that's my personal experience. So it's not great. But if I go into the bathroom, usually the kids, because it's like high school kids that hang out in boba shop, have left a mess of the bathroom. I'll actually clean the bathroom before I use it. Not like scrubbing and stuff like that, but if I'm like taking like a paper towel and I'm like wiping it, people are getting like pee all over the seat and stuff like that. I'm like wiping the bathroom down because I feel like when I come out of the bathroom and people give me this ugly look like, ew, he's here, if they go into the bathroom after me, they'll think that I'm messy. And so I clean it before I use it so I'm not like driving home this weird stereotype they've created for me. It's really weird. I don't know. But it is a thing that happens to me quite a bit, specifically in my area. Obviously, if I lived in Watts or Compton, where I'm around mostly other black people, it wouldn't be a problem for me. But living in a place where I'm mostly around Asian people that don't particularly want me here or like me very much, I do have to be like on my best behavior, even so much as like cleaning up after other people, so they don't think that it's like my fault or something. It's really weird. Um, anyways, I need to be ending this stream because we're already at an hour and 30 minutes. I played pretty much everybody's song though, which is amazing. If I'm going over news, I'm going to mention the fact that The View did come out. I have a song that goes. It's a dance song. It's like 125 BPM. It came out on a compilation with some Japanese acts a few weeks ago on Attack the Music. Please go listen to it. It is on Bandcamp. I worked really hard on that song, and I did all the vocals for it, which is kind of becoming like a thing for me. So, please support that song. Thank you. Yeah, it's annoying a little bit, Mary, but not so much. The thing is, like, I already present myself meticulously, and I already am a very clean person. I think the problem comes where I have to clean up other people's mess because I know it'll get blamed on me. Like, if I'm around somewhere and something breaks around me, I know that people look at me like, ugh, I hate it when they come around. They're always breaking things, you know? Something like that happens. I had a really, I don't want to get super into it, but I had an experience in Chinatown, not down here, but in Chinatown in San Francisco, where somebody stole something next to me, and I got blamed for it. So like I was like chilling on my phone, watched somebody steal something, and thought to myself like, oh, this fool's a clown. Like it's very obvious that they're stealing. Watch them run out of the store. Watch the owner watch them run out of the store, and then look at me, and then point at me, and go put it back. And I was like, put what back? It was really weird. That was up in San Francisco though. Chinatown in San Francisco, by the way, is amazing. You should definitely go to Chinatown, San Francisco if you ever get the chance. It's really like, I would say it's one of the most beautiful Chinatowns in the states. Like out of like, obviously San Francisco has one, LA has one, New York has one. San Francisco's is like so beautiful. The name of the song is called The View. The name of the song is called The View. 125 BPM. It's like a dance song. It's about somebody that I used to have a crush on, which seems to be a theme with a lot of my music. Yeah. Ooh, the South. Ooh, boy. Ooh, the South. That's where my parents are from, so I had to go there a lot as a kid. But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that because I don't have enough time. It sucks for Chinatown right now. Oh, crap. You're right, Leon. I didn't even think about that. Oh. Oh my god. I also have two new bodies of work. One's called Ego Death, the other one's called Quick Breath. If you want to hear them, and I hope you do, they're available on everything. What is everything? It's Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Group, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. I have. Ooh, wait, hold on. Anyways, I also have some t-shirts and some stickers coming out soon. I have some shows that did get canceled. Guys, it's no secret anymore. I did have a tour that was Very exciting for me because it was supposed to coincide with my new music being released, and I had to cancel it because a lot of the venues and clubs are closing because of the coronavirus, and it's just not a really great time to be touring right now. Financially, it's really good because it's cheap to fly, but it's not good because people don't really want to go to concerts or festivals or events really right now. So, that being said, I did have to cancel my tour. Now, it doesn't mean I'm not going to play any shows this year. It just means that the shows that I did have booked, I did have to let go of them. So, I mean, we all being human beings right now. We're like kind of playing this by ear. We're trying to figure out what is okay. Coachella just got pushed back to October. GDC got canceled altogether. South by Southwest got canceled altogether. It's like really weird. Nobody really knows what to do right now. So I don't feel like I can say when shows are going to happen. I'm sorry if you were somebody that was going to come to them. But we'll get them figured out for sure. But in the meantime, thank you for always coming to the streams. This is a thing that we can all do that doesn't involve us swapping any germs, I guess. Oh boy, it's really sad. Really sad. I'm not gonna say what the shows were, Cyber. I'm not gonna say what the shows were because if I end up like rescheduling them later, I want it to be like a cool, like, oh my god, this is great, Omni. I don't want it to be like, oh, this was the thing that you had to cancel. So I'm not gonna get into where the shows were. I will say that half of them were in Asia though, which is sad. But oh man, yeah, I'm not gonna get upset about that. I'm not gonna get upset about that because I have been fortunate enough to have at least played in Asia before. I have been to Japan to some of the venues that I was playing, and I have been to Korea, some of the venues that I was playing also. Um, they're not happening right now. They're not happening. Still a chance though that shows might happen this year. It's just a little unfortunate. Yeah, I've heard the same thing, Lindsay. It's bad, I guess. I feel like I just have to say it's bad because things keep getting canceled, but and me obviously having to cancel tour dates, but like, hmm, it's bad. I feel like my day to day life hasn't changed all too much. I'm still on the subway. I'm still looking at people. People are still not wearing face masks on the subway. People are still coughing into their, into the open air. People in LA don't seem to have changed their lives too much, but I know that a lot of other people and cities are feeling it. So um, we're just gonna figure it out, I guess, as all of this is happening. Oh, racism. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, racism in Portland, Oregon. Racism in Portland, Oregon is wild because there's a whole sect of skinheads in Portland, Oregon. They're like Oregon is kind of like known for its skinheads. They're really doing the most out there. So if you go to Oregon, I guess, and you're black, try to stick to Portland, like the downtown area. Don't venture out. Don't venture out too much. Listen to me scaremongering for Oregon. It's okay. It's okay. Just like don't be by yourself. We have to tell people to wash their hands, says Cause. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It blocked Kit's comment because the word Nazi was in it, but the cops in Portland are Nazi apologists. The cops in Portland are Nazi apologists. But, guys, Portland does make a mean donut. So, if you're afraid of Nazis but you like donuts, maybe risk it. Maybe risk it anyway. Or if you don't like Nazis but you look kind of like one, it's okay for you. It's okay for you. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Nothing's gonna happen to you. I'm glad the Corona memes are in full force right now. Oh yeah, guys, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me go, or the stream is gonna get messy. Yeah, everything is awful, so you have to find some comedy in it. I didn't finish the news. Shirts, blah, 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 shows canceled. Streams, right. So streams, I'm here on YouTube every weekday morning at 9 a.m. You guys are great. I say that every time. I hope it's not getting watered down. I hope it's not a Boy Craig Wolf 3 thing where I say a compliment so much that it doesn't mean anything anymore. But you guys are really great about being on time to the stream. I'm doing my best on making the stream a consistent thing, and you guys are doing a lot on your part of like being in here a lot. Hi, Opal too. Opal. Coronavirus isn't in Alaska, thankfully. Yeah, you guys have like moose up there, right? You guys have. Why do I have a runny nose all of a sudden? Better not be getting sick. Come on now. We may have some racism, but the donuts are worth it, says Lindsay. Yeah, the donuts are pretty dope. I've had the donuts there. I mean, have I also had the donuts in LA? Are they also dope? Yeah. Yeah. There's also racism here in LA. I think that people think that LA is like this really cool progressive melting pot, but I'm having to like wipe pee off of toilets so that like a bunch of Asian people don't give me stink eye in a boba place. So racism is still pretty bad. Also, I can't go to East LA. I'm not gonna talk about that. If you know what East LA is like and you know what I look like, you know why I can't go there. But I can't hang out in East LA. It's very dangerous for me. So I want to thank everybody for being on time to the streams. It's really, really cool. It means a lot. I do really appreciate it. You guys stay for the whole thing most of the time, and on times like this where I've gone well over 30 minutes over our scheduled stream time, that is a lot. Um, is East LA the super gentrified part? No. No. I like that I didn't need to answer that. Liana already knew. Yeah. East LA is not the super gentrified part. East LA is just the part. It is the part that has amazing food and great salsa clubs and also a lot of people who will hit me until I'm dead. They'll hit me until I no longer have life. So I'm not going down there. I've had a really good streak of not getting in a fist fight. It's been 4 years now since I've gotten into a fist fight in public, and I would love to just do that for the rest of my life. I would love to like not get in a fight until I'm dead, or I would like the next fight to kill me. Either way, I'm not versed in LA areas yet. You will be, Lindsay. Believe me, you will be. Mm, mm, mm. I will end this stream now. This song is called Hush Hour, guys. I wrote this song in Hong Kong while I was sitting in a hotel. I was having such an amazing time. I called my mom from that hotel. Don't get wrecked. A little bit of trivia, Cyber, is that to get to Pizzanista, I actually have to go through East LA. So I take a long cut. I guess the opposite of a shortcut, a detour to get to Pizzanista, just so that I can get my pizza and none of the beatings. Um, God let me move to Japan at least. Their racism is blind. Christ, Jesus Christ. They are very racist in Japan. And I did receive a lot of that too, but it was very polite racism. I gotta say, nobody laid hands on me. It was beautiful. I hope everybody has a good rest of their Tuesday. I want to thank everybody for showing up. I also want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody for being so nice all the time. You guys could be so nasty and I wouldn't be able to stop you. Bing bong, bing bong, Thank you everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. Again, it really does make a difference in my day. I hope it makes a difference in your guys's. You guys's. Also, thank you Cyber and Lindsay for the lunch money. I do really appreciate that. I am going to get some pizza today and probably also some boba. It's really cold, so I might actually. Sorry, it's LA cold, so not actually cold. It's like 60 degrees. I think it's like 50, 50, 55, 54 degrees. So I'm going to go get some lunch. Stay warm. Thank you again, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday, tomorrow, for another one of these. Hopefully it'll actually be concise, and I won't get so sidetracked. But No promises. Abo. Abo, everybody. Oh no, I think I am getting sick. Ya be da be dum ba da dum.